Salutations, this is Gremdavel. Welcome to our Let's Play of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. This game is pretty awesome. I've been wanting to play this game on my channel for actually a really good while now, but I didn't want to play it until I had beaten a 3-rune game once. And I did it last week, and I'm very excited about it. And I'm going to be playing the same species and class, following the same god that I won it with, because I don't want to look like an idiot. This is a very difficult game. If you don't know what Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup is, it's a true roguelike. One of the best ones, if not the best one out there, because of the way how it's balanced and all the work that's constantly put into it. It's still in development. And I'm going to be playing the trunk build, which is version 0.25, I believe, which has some cool changes in it from the previous 0.24 build. I found out about this game. I can't remember where I initially found out about this game, but I played it some, and it's very, very hard if you don't know what you're doing. I had seen it on Quill18's channel a little bit, and through that, I found Ultraviolent4, who has a channel where he just exclusively plays games of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. I highly recommend Ultraviolent4's channel, which I've been watching almost every night for months. It's really great. He's a great personality. Definite shout out to him. And I've learned a lot watching that. So, if you don't know this game, I'll try to do my best kind of tutorializing, although I'm sure I won't do as good a job as Ultraviolent4. But first, the class matters most. Who you pick for your class matters more than... your species matters a lot more than your class. And then the god that you pick in the game matters probably more than the class too. We're going to pick Formicid. Formicids are really strong, really powerful species. And we can take a look at their abilities here, their list of aptitudes. In fact, why don't I pick them so they're highlighted here? So if we look at this, we can see that Formicids have really high aptitudes for combat skills. Their dodge isn't great, but they've got plus 1 armor, pretty good stealth, good shields, really good shields, good invocation, good evocation, really good MR, magic resistance, and then fighting skills, it's flat, which is actually pretty decent. They can pick any weapon they want and do pretty decently with it. And they're not good with bows, but that's okay. They're pretty good with slings. And then magic-wise, some things they're not great at, like air magic or conjurations, but some things they're really great at. Hexes, earth magic, and poison magic, they're excellent at. And then actually, 0 in spellcasting, which is the first column on the left, that's actually pretty rare too. Most species have a -1 in that. So really powerful species. Not only that, but the most amazing thing about Formicids, well, there are a few things. One, they have multiple arms, which means that they can use a shield with a 2-handed weapon, whether it be ranged or melee. That's really powerful. People often have to choose to sacrifice using a shield if they want a 2-handed weapon or vice versa. Usually people want a shield over a 2-handed weapon. Formicids don't have to worry about that. So that's really awesome. So with all these great things, what makes this class balanced? Well, the main thing is that they cannot teleport or blink or get a lot of different status effects on them. They can't be hasted, although by that same token, they can't be slowed or paralyzed. But most times, the thing about this game is, you're going to get into a lot of tight situations, and you're going to have to take every situation seriously and respect every encounter, and figure out a way to get out of tight spots very often. And one of the most common ways of getting out of tight spots is by blinking away or teleporting away. Formicids can't do that, but they can dig through walls and dig down floors. So we might need to use those things. We probably will. So what are we going to choose for our background? The background does matter. It affects the skills that you start with. It affects the attributes you start with and your starting equipment. But after that, the way you develop is your choice in the game. Earth Elementalist is not bad. We know that the Formicid is good at Earth magic. We know the Formicid is good at Venom magic. And Arcane Marksman gets some hexes too. Also, the ones that are highlighted white, they're not necessarily better than the ones that are grayed out. They're just kind of recommended. And of course, there's also just Fighter, which gives you armor and a shield. We're going to be going for the god Okawaru, who grants you a lot of fighting equipment and ammunition, and also gives you some invocable abilities to increase your defense and offense and your speed. So I'm going to choose Fighter. And we will probably use some magic. When I won with the Formicid Fighter, I ended up getting a lot of Earth magic and using a lot of Earth magic. But we'll see what we get. The game is randomized every time, so what you get, the spells you get, they're going to be... Even if we picked Earth Elementalist, doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to get advanced Earth spells. So we're going to pick Fighter. And we could start with any weapon. Because we can use a shield with a two-handed weapon, we're going to want a two-handed weapon. But what version of a two-handed weapon? Like, do we want two-handed axes, two-handed pole arms, two-handed swords, two-handed flails? I don't know. It probably depends on the equipment we find. We'll probably want to focus on one once we find a nice one, or if Okawaru gives us a nice one. To start, I think... Let's see. To start, why don't we go with a... why don't we just go with a sword to start? Swords can riposte, if that's how you pronounce it, so they can kind of give added defense. Actually, we have a shield. We don't really need that. Pole arms, they give reach. That's usually useful if you have certain kind of magic abilities or if you're fast. We're not either of those. War Axe lets you cleave, and flails are just good overall weapons, and the starting ones have good speed. You know what? Let's start with the flail. We're going to do that. Oh, I like the shield art that we start with here. Okay, so here we are, and I'm really looking forward to Let's Playing this, not just because I want to show you this game, which is awesome, and I've been wanting to just get more roguelikes on my channel, but also because when I play, there's a certain thing when I'm recording that like a part of my brain shuts off, and maybe some things I'm not as good at. Maybe I'm not as observant when I'm recording, but I am a lot more deliberate when I'm recording, and I get to talk things out naturally. And I think that's going to help me a lot in this game. Also, one other caveat, there's no music in this game. I thought about maybe, I don't know, playing the Dwarf Fortress theme under it or something, or finding some public access music. Let me know how you feel. If you want some music behind it, if you think it's necessary, let me know in the comments or in Discord. I always think that maybe I'll try to like record some music of my own, because I play some instruments, but I don't know, that would be a bit of a project. Anyway, here we go. We are... and the first thing we want to do when we start a new game is go to our skills, turn... I'm going to hit slash to turn it off of auto mode and go to manual mode. Never play with auto mode. You don't want the game choosing what skills you want to be training up. We're not going to be training our maces and flails yet. Oh yeah, maces and flails also get some synergy with axes and staves. We are going to probably be training shields first, because we start with shield. We want to get our shield up to a skill. If we look at our equipment and we look at our shield, you need a skill of 9 as a target for shields to remove the penalty. So I'm going to hit S to set that. So now our target for shields is 9. And that's really good. In fact, I might want to focus on that. Train some fighting. Wait till we get a good weapon before I train a specific kind of weapon. And we also don't have any spells, so I'm not going to train spellcasting yet. Really, we're just going to go for defense at the beginning. And if we find some good armor, we might train some armor skill too. Right now, we start with decent armor. We start with scale mail. And if we train armor skill, that would be better. But that's also if we get spells, we'll want to train armor too, so that we can cast them in our armor.